How's it going, guys? It's the Pixelate Pumpkin, and welcome back to another video. And if you haven't heard, Home Depot's, I'm gonna say, a pretty good chunk, if not all, of their entire animatronic lineup for this year has been leaked. Now, there's only photos, no videos yet, but a very good chunk of their lineup has been leaked. So I'm just gonna be giving my thoughts and opinions on all of the new products today. There are a ton of unique ones this year. I'm gonna say that as of now, the lineup this year is a little bit worse than last year. There really isn't anything that's like really appealing to me like last year. I feel like just overall last year there were a few better props overall, but this year is definitely still looking solid. There is so much uniqueness coming out of this lineup for this year. Unfortunately, there's a lot of medieval stuff, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I know there are a lot of people who love the medieval Halloween stuff. It just doesn't really appeal to me very much, but still, nonetheless, it is cool, and I'll be taking a look at it in today's video. So I guess with that all out of the way, let's just jump right in and take a look at Home Depot's Halloween 2021 lineup. So this thing here is the very first thing posted on Home Depot's website today. Now this is not leaked, this is official. They put this on their website saying we're going big for Halloween, check back soon to see our larger than life assortment. But apparently today everything got leaked. So now that we just have this little video, this is the only video you'll be seeing, or it's just a gif of this new Dark Angel prop, which seems like a very cool cemetery statue prop, very similar to Untimely Death and that other skeleton-like statue we got last year. I absolutely love this one. This is definitely one of my favorites for this year, even though it is kind of medieval with the sword and all, which you could see a better image of right now. I still find this to be a very cool prop, especially with the color changing. It does just seem to have simple head turning movement, but nonetheless this thing looks amazing and I can't wait to see it in person. Now this definitely won't be one I will be buying this year unless it's like super cheap, like $100, or I manage to pick it up at the 50% off sale, which it'll probably be sold out by then. But nonetheless, I do absolutely love this one, and this is definitely one of the better ones for this year for Home Depot, and I just can't wait to see it in person. Now the next prop we have is another one of my favorites for this year. I believe this guy is called the Inferno Reaper, and he just looks incredible. Now it is a very simple Reaper prop. I'm not sure how tall this is standing. It may be a 12-foot prop. I can't really tell. I don't think it is. I'm not sure what company this is made by. I'm pretty sure it's SVI, but it does look almost like techie, a little bit, but I don't think so because of the hand molds and stuff. But nonetheless, this is a very cool Reaper prop. I'm excited to see what's going on in his chest plate there. It looks like there's a light. I'm not sure if they're using the flame light like inside the Techie Toys Rotten Flaming Pumpkin. Again, we don't know if this is Techie or SVI, but nonetheless, this is a very interesting and cool Reaper prop. I love the face on it. It looks like a very creepy skeletal look. And there's just not too much going on here, but I do like the giant scythe he is holding that is made of human bones, or bones in general. Nonetheless, I do think this is a great Reaper prop, and I can't wait to see what it does, since there's a lot of intrigue here, since we can't really tell exactly what he's going to do just from this one little photo. The next prop we have is a pumpkin monster reskin of the giant skeleton sold last year. Now, this was expected by so many people, not the giant pumpkin monster part, but we knew we were getting a reskin of the 12-foot skeleton because there's just no way Home Depot couldn't do it again. With all the success they had from the 12-foot skeleton, there's no way they wouldn't pass up another opportunity to get another giant 12-foot prop. Now, this guy is a massive pumpkin monster, which most of you probably expect me to love since pumpkin head creatures and monsters are my favorite type of props. But this one, I'm not really feeling it. Obviously, his body is, again, very skeletal-like with the rib cage and all, but I'm just not really feeling it with this one. He is cool, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's a little bit something off with the pumpkin head and the body here. The legs are definitely way too long on him, and his eyes are a little bit too far apart, and I don't really like how they stuck with the skeletal look. I feel like they definitely should have done something a lot more interesting with the pumpkin monster. Maybe give him a more original body type than just another skeletal-like body, and his face as well. I'm not a big fan of his face. If we got like a different face that maybe didn't have to use the digital eyes, I think we could have gotten something really amazing here. But nonetheless, it is still a cool prop, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not the biggest fan of it. Now, the next prop we have, I unfortunately forget the exact name of, but it's some sort of evil princess or queen prop. I'm not really sure. Obviously, I'm very interested to see what this does and what it kind of is, but from this photo alone, we could just see that some sort of evil princess or queen that is probably like a sorcerer or something like that, judging by her staff with the crystal ball on it. this is what I really mean about the medieval props this year. They really just don't interest me very much. This does look cool nonetheless, but it's not really my personal taste in Halloween props. I definitely prefer more traditional Halloween stuff, and I feel like creepy medieval stuff doesn't really fit with Halloween well, because it's more like an any time of year type of thing, like skeleton nights. That doesn't really have much to do with Halloween, but nonetheless, I do like this quite a bit. I mean, it's one of my lesser favorites from this year. The mouth is just like not a latex face, which is kind of disappointing, but it is pretty interesting and very unique nonetheless. The next prop we have is an unexpected reskin of the Jack-in-the-Box clown sold at Home Depot last year. Now, normally if there's a recolor or a reskin like this, I'm saying recolor since pretty much nothing has changed except for his hat, it is sold at a different store. And it's very interesting that they're just going to be pretty much selling the same prop again, just colors are changed on it. I do have to say I'm kind of split between the original and this. In some instances, I do like the original better in terms of its looks, but this one does look very cool as well. I do like the color scheme here a lot. I'll just have to wait and see until I get to see this one in person to really compare the two inside my head. But nonetheless, I think this is a pretty cool reskin, and it just took me off guard pretty much. Our next prop, I believe, is called King of the Underworld. Now, this definitely goes hand in hand with the Queen prop we saw before, obviously leaning heavy into the medieval theme again. This is another one I'm not too interested in. It does look cool nonetheless. I do like the zombified king look of it, but I just don't, again, medieval props really don't interest me very much. I think this and the princess are probably towards the bottom of my list for this year for Home Depot. There's just really not much. I mean, it's very unique, don't get me wrong, but just medieval props really don't resonate with me, unfortunately. I would love to be so hyped about this, but just the medieval props aren't a cup of tea. I know there will be people who really like this stuff, but it's just not really me. But nonetheless, I do think this guy has a cool zombified look, and I do like how they made him a zombie as well. If it was just an evil king like the evil queen or whatever, I would have been pretty disappointed, but I think this one is alright. I definitely like the evil, whatever, the queen a lot less than this guy, but this guy is still alright. Next up, we have yet another medieval prop, but hey, this one is pretty awesome actually. He's definitely supposed to be the king's servant or queen's servant. Obviously, they're trying to do some sort of trio here with the medieval guys, but this is definitely my favorite out of all the medieval stuff. I do like it a lot. There's just a lot to get into, so let's just jump right in. First of all, he's holding this giant axe, which looks incredible. I can't wait to see if he's going to have any animation with that. That would be so sick if he does. His face is also really cool. He has a very nice skeletal look in his face. I do like his chest plate, and just overall, he looks very cool. I can't wait to see this one in person. It's, again, definitely the best out of the medieval stuff. It's still not my favorite one this year, though. Again, the medieval stuff doesn't really work for me, but still, I do like this guy, and to be fair, he is very cool. Next up is probably most people's favorites for this year, or at least what I've seen, but this is a man-eating plant prop. Now, this is extremely unique and extremely original, and there are so many people hyped for this one and are for sure going to buy it this year. Now, I do like this one a lot, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. You could definitely call me a fan of this prop, but not as much as a lot of other people. I do think it is very awesome that we finally get to see a man-eating plant prop, and I absolutely love the way this one looks. It's not like a humanoid creature for once. A fellow haunter, JTA Haunts, go subscribe to him, brought that up, how we really never see, how we always see humanoid or human-like props, like they have their bodies are like humans, but this one is just a completely unique creature, and I absolutely love it. I think the face looks great on it. I can't tell what company this is made by, but it is so cool to finally see a man-eating plant prop. Now, I would kill to see a pumpkin version of this. Just maybe change up some stuff, maybe like have his roots, like turn them to be like, I don't know, maybe brown or something, and obviously change the mold of his head to be a pumpkin, and maybe take off some of the greenery on the prop, and I think that could be awesome. I know a lot of people have been wanting this for a really long time, and I'm happy for all the people who wanted this. I'm not going to get it unless it's, again, really cheap, and I find it, like, at the 50% off sale. I'm guessing this will probably be around $100, if not a little bit less. I know Home Depot has really good prices, and I can't see this thing being too expensive. Nonetheless, I'm really hyped to see it in person, and I'm kind of wondering how tall it's going to be. I'm guessing probably, like, life size, like maybe 5 or 6 feet tall, since it's only a plant, but nonetheless, it is still very cool, and I'm really excited to see it. For our next prop, or I should say 2 props, I unfortunately forget what they're called again, but we actually did see the demo for these guys a few months back in January. It was a prototype version of them, which looked really bad, but now we finally have the finalized versions, which look really good in my opinion. So these are, I'm guessing, just 2 little 3-foot greeters that come together, and they're little pumpkin trick-or-treating boys and girls, and I absolutely love these 2. They are cute. I love the face molds. They're such full of character, and they look cartoony, and I just absolutely love it. These 2 I probably won't be getting, since obviously I want scary life sizes, but nonetheless, I'm sure there is going to be a ton of people who buy these. I think they're just really great, cute little greeters, and I can't wait to see them in person again. Hopefully they're not online only, because I do like these guys quite a bit. Again, my absolutely favorite part about this is their face molds. Hopefully they release like separate little pumpkin versions of them with just the pumpkins, but nonetheless, this is still a great little duo. Now, unfortunately, our final prop, but I did save the best for last, my absolute favorite prop from Home Depot this year, Ferry of the Dead. Now, this is actually made by Pack, surprisingly, which is incredibly impressive for them. They're just knocking it out of the park this year, I feel. I love Pack. They're one of my favorite, like, smaller companies. Just, like, excuse SVI and Techie for a second and just focus on Pack. And I think Pack is definitely growing stronger every year. Their presence at Home Depot has not gone unnoticed, and they're just growing every year, I feel, getting better and better. And I just can't wait to see what else they have in store for this year. But all that out of the way, let's talk about Ferry of the Dead. Now, this is a brand new prop for this year, obviously, and we do know the animation on this one since it has been leaked a video, which I'm not going to play since, again, people have been getting copyright claimed for them, but he does have rowing animation, which looks incredible. I absolutely love the boat he comes in. This is probably going to be a very expensive prop, especially with the boat and the animated figure standing in the middle, but this is just so cool. I absolutely love it. The boat is just packed full of detail. I love the lantern on the back, the skull on the front. There's just so much detail in the boat itself. And then there's 2 little skeletons taking a ride inside, which is just pretty funny and cute, but also scary at the same time. Now for the figure itself, it looks amazing. It's a pretty simple Reaper, but I love the light up face on it, and overall it just looks incredible. Now, before I finish up this video, I just want to take some time to reflect on the lineup for this year. Now, we don't know if this is everything. I have a feeling there's still a lot more yet to see from Home Depot that just hasn't been leaked yet, and I cannot wait to see whatever that is, if there's anything else. But again, I do feel like there is. Now, this lineup for this year, I feel like is a pretty big letdown in my opinion. Unfortunately, I thought they were going to absolutely smash out the park again this year. I was definitely looking so forward to it, but after seeing all these props, I'm just a little bit let down. I feel like overall last year there were like a few props that probably couldn't be beat this year. For example, the Gravedigger and Flaming Scarecrow, but I feel like they could have had stuff on par with that this year, but unfortunately we didn't really see that as of right now. I'm really hoping for some more stuff, hoping for some farm stuff, because, you know, that's my favorite. Obviously, we do have a few, like, pretty close to being farm themes with the little pumpkin head kids. But nonetheless, I think this year was a little bit of a letdown as of now again. But it's pretty cool to see all these props, and I cannot wait to see them in person as well. And overall, I think this is just the beginning. Also, I'm still obviously, I'm still looking forward to Spirit a lot. But the Home Depot is pretty cool this year. Not as good as last year, but we still have a lot to see. Well, everyone, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking it out to the end. Let me know what you think of this lineup in the comments below. Do you like it better than last year? Is it a little worse than last year? And do you think there's going to be anything else? I really hope there's going to be some more stuff, because we've already seen some leaked stuff that's not even in any of these photos, which I just won't be sharing those videos because, I mean, a lot of people being getting copyright claimed from them. I was just only talking about the pictures in this video, but anyways, guys, be sure to check out the merch, like and subscribe as always, and as always, this is the Big Slate Pumpkin, signing out.